Hello to everyone watching. Welcome to the Build Assets Online show. I'm Joe from buildassetsonline.com. This is my brother Mike, also from buildassetsonline.com. Sorry for the awkward introduction, but today we're going to be talking about how you can become a Kindle Publishing bestseller. Let me close out Mike from the screen there. That's better. So Mike, you were really the Kindle Publishing expert, I would say, between the two of us. I've had my fair share of success with it, but you're really nowadays in the back end publishing the books. I'll just handle the Facebook ads and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put it on you to tell the people out there, how do you become a Kindle Publishing bestseller? Like, lay it on them. How do you do it?
The main key is that you need to build an audience. And so obviously easier said than done, but actually Kindle Publishing or books in general, fiction books, is the easiest place to build an audience because there's already platforms you can leverage for doing so. And it's also just, it's a voracious market. So like with us, if someone buys our course, we don't really have much else to sell them. And on top of that, they're not going to be like, they buy the course, watch it, and then they want to buy something else. They need to buy it and they need to take action. People who read fiction books, they're just in a constant state of consuming. These people are like hyper consumers. And so that is the main thing that needs to happen. If you can develop a list of, say, 10,000, 20,000 people that have opted in and read your stuff, then you can basically print money on demand. And that's what we do. And so, it's not just about our one list. Also, what you need to do is you need to leverage other people and other platforms. So we have a network of other publishers that we work with who have their own lists. And so we all kind of exchange and promote each other. And so this is kind of the second pillar. And the third pillar is using some sort of paid platform to build your audience. And so that can be through Facebook ads like you do. And I think that is probably the main way to sort of build or accelerate your audience through paid traffic. But to be clear, what we do is we also have our own fiction content website at this point, right?
Yeah.
So how we're able to make things unique is we're actually through SEO and blogging and content, our content website, we've generated our own unique audience. And this gives us huge leverage because everyone else that's trying to go and do Facebook ads, they are basically going into Audience Manager. They're picking the same audiences and everyone's competing on that. But if you have your own audience, and it doesn't have to be through making a content website like we do, but if you have your own audience, then when you go on Facebook, you can upload that audience or their pixels or what have you, and now you have a much less competitive pool to market to. And so this allows you to get more clicks, get more eyes in front of your stuff, and ultimately get some top 100 rankings, some bestsellers.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to bring up is that you definitely want to be using a service such as Genius Links, or I don't know if they make similar ones, but basically, one of the things that makes Facebook ads powerful is that when someone lands on your website, it pixels them, so it kind of tracks their browser activity, and then you can target them again at a later date because their activity online is associated with their Facebook account and stuff like that. Now the thing is that when you're sending someone to Amazon to your book, because you're going to run two different types of ads. You mentioned audience building. So audience building is one type of ad you're going to run, perhaps, to get people to opt in to your email list and to promote your books that way. The other type of ad you're going to run is that if you're doing like a book launch or something, you're going to want to run ads directly to your books. So when you're doing that, the problem is that you cannot capture you don't own the Amazon website. So Amazon is going to pixel that customer and retarget them around the web, but you're not going to be able to. But by using a service with Genius Links, it can kind of embed the pixel click right into the link to your Amazon book. That way you're building the audience inside Facebook, and that's really how you know, get the cost down and get the warmest audience over time, is by remarketing to the same people over and over and over again. And if you watch any of the other videos on this channel, we talk down on social media ads. And, in many contexts, rightly so, if you're trying to do dropshipping. If you're trying to do dropshipping, stay away from Facebook ads. If you're trying to do Kindle publishing, it's a fantastic idea because, like, as Mike said, the intent is not much of a factor because, it's totally different trying to get someone to buy a kitchen island from your website, or to even buy, if you're doing that BS nonsense AliExpress dropshipping stuff, get someone to buy like a bracelet or a necklace from your website, just cold like that. But the mindset, or the spending habits of a romance reader or a fiction reader are totally different. These people are voracious consumers. Like Mike said, they're hungry. They want more content because it's like binging a show. Like, people binge Netflix, Hulu, whatever they're watching. People binge it, and it's the same thing with people who like to read. They want more, and as long as you put out good content books, you're gonna be able to provide that to them and get rewarded monetarily as a result.
Yeah, this is the real key distinction of using social media ads. And we don't get into this a lot because when we talk about dropshipping, we're just really emphasizing why they don't work because in that case, they don't work. But when we talk about audience building, you don't need an audience to get someone to come and buy your kitchen island. It kind of doesn't matter because they're searching for it. They go and they buy it. It's the easiest sales cycle to take advantage of. But if you want a sustaining Kindle publishing business, then that's when you need to learn audience building, because essentially you have this big pool of people who read romance, but you can't just tap into them and have them buy just instantly. If some of them will, but so what you do is you market to those people, and then the ones that are interested, they click, some buy. It's on Amazon, so you can't tell who buys. But if you can see who takes an action, then they're a bit hotter. They're a bit of a better prospect than just that whole generic pool of romance readers. And so what you're doing is, with audience building, you're building these pools of hotter and hotter prospects. And so the more you can work someone down the funnel, the more you can work a whole pool of people down the funnel, all of a sudden you have a huge, huge pixel or email list segment or whatever of people who have very specific intents, and that they've actually taken action with you. And so, you want to say something?
No, I was going to say that's really the key distinction, is that they've taken action with you. So you kind of said it there for them. I mean, it's like if you meet someone for the first time, and this is something I've actually thought about a lot recently, is that when you meet someone for the first time, there's a very limited pool of things you could say to them, or interactions that you could have. But as you meet people second, third, fourth, fifth time, you can start, dropping more like controversial jokes and things like that, because they're warm to you. And it's much like that with audience building online, is that when someone sees like the name of your brand, or like the author name and stuff like that, they become like, oh, that's Joe Schmo. Like, I love Joe's books. So that's
so it's like you're building up your name, and it kind of all feeds into itself, because as you market more towards these people, they get to know you better, and that builds trust. But it also benefits you because you're rewarded in the paid ads arena as well, because you get better click-through rates, therefore you get better costs, there's less competition. And so it's all working together. And that's like the main key of social media ads. And if people ever watch like Ezra Firestone's content and how he talks about Boom by Cindy Joseph, his cosmetics brand, that's him using e-commerce and Facebook ads together. But the thing is, with cosmetics, that's a replenishable product. People are always buying more of that stuff. And so that's one instance where using Facebook ads works great. Kindle is something else that everyone can do that they can leverage Facebook ads as well.
Yeah. So let's do a quick recap because we've definitely said a lot of stuff. But if we have to break it down to 3 steps to how someone can become a Kindle publisher bestseller, what would they be? Steps 1, 2, and 3.
Build your email list to 10,000 to 20,000 people. Step 1. Step 2, find other publishers who are doing the same. Usually these steps go hand in hand. And then step 3 is create your own audience through Facebook, through consistent Facebook marketing.
Yep. So that's about it, guys. If you want to see how Kindle Publishing fits into our online business portfolio, do not forget to grab the free course, buildassetsonline.com/playbook. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video or podcast.
Take it easy.